Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this Friday morning. We got a great show lined up, some special guests here, some good things happening. We're going to give away some seafood later on. We got our famous Friday fishing forecast. So let's get started with the weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. We're looking at another hot day, hot. High in the low 90s and low is 78. Water temperature 88.5. It is really warm. I got to get in the Gulf of Mexico Saturday. Had the kids down and all. We just had a great time. I just jumped in the water and just started swimming around in a circle. It felt so good. So I want to urge you to enjoy our great outdoors. Let's take a look at our river readings brought to us by Mountain Dew. Take it outside with Mountain Dew, and you're going to need 2 or 3 of them on these hot days like today. The river, folks, is in great shape. If you're going to fish freshwater tomorrow, the river's a place to be. The Apalachicola Bluntstown is a 5.2. Okay, that's excellent. Anytime you get below 6, everybody's jumping up and down at Howard Creek. Now, the Choctaw at Caryville, 2.2. They jumping up and down at Black Creek. So it's going to be a good weekend on river. I'm just going to leave it like that and let you figure it out. The tide chart, we're sort of finishing up with neap tides, but next week, if you look at our tide chart, we have some of the strongest tides we have all year. Next week, that first week in June, boom, like that. So check it out. We got a high tide this morning, 7:57, low tide this afternoon at 5:33. Our wind direction will be south-southwest on a marine forecast at about 8 to 10. Let's take our break and come back with our special guest. Welcome back, and look at our special guests this morning. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. I'm so excited about having them. All kind of cool things going on. So, ladies first.
Thank you. My name is Lorene Lindsay, and I'm a resident of Mexico Beach, and retired happily now. So
former teacher from Mosley.
That's
so
right. That's right.
Okay. Science teacher, a good science teacher.
Thank you.
Okay. And Danny?
I'm Danny Collins. I'm the Government Community Relations Manager for Duke Energy Florida. Cover a 16-county region from Mexico Beach in the west all the way over to the Swanee River.
Swanee River, and a native of Monticello, and also a graduate of the University of Florida. We got 3 Gators here now, so Jeff, been a Georgia Bulldog, he's outnumbered back there. So we got some cool stuff coming up. Lorene, I'm going to let you get started on it because what's going to be happening tomorrow at Mexico Beach?
Tomorrow we're going to be planting sea oats. We have 15,000 sea oats to plant, and I'm happy to say that we have a huge number of volunteers that have stepped forward to help us rebuild and get that beach back in good shape.
This is special to us for all kind of reasons because Mexico Beach is sort of heart and soul of this area here because of the damage they had and all. But our outdoor ed class went there in 2013 and planted sea oats, and you came down there with planted sea oats and all. And we think some of those sea oats are still there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we are excited because there has been such a wonderful outpouring of people that are willing to help us, and they remember how sweet Mexico Beach is and what a nice little beach that is. So we'll be out there working away at it.
And Duke Energy, those folks going to be helping out?
Oh, they've been a wonderful help to us, supporting us in all kinds of ways and helping us get this program started. So we're real pleased to have them as our partners, have some real experience.
How many thousand are y'all doing?
15,000. That sounds like a lot.
Now listen, I really would go, but I'm going fishing. You heard that one before. I really am going fishing tomorrow. I would love to be there. If I wasn't, but going fishing, I'd be there.
Oh, well.
I'm experienced.
Oh, yes. Yes, I know that.
How many thousand we planted. And folks, let me tell you, so all of y'all out there not doing anything tomorrow, y'all come down to Mexico Beach at what time?
Well, we're going to get started at 8 o'clock. We hope it won't be too hot.
Yeah. Get there early.
Yeah.
And
So,
you have specified places to put them in, and
yes,
like
we do.
we did out the way, the lines and all that.
And we have signs. We'll have signs up.
Hey, it's not hard now. Even Michael, some of y'all can all do it. I'll go just dig a hole in the sand and put it in it. Okay, so it's not hard. Okay, so anybody can do what we want. Everybody to come down, and can y'all take some pictures maybe and send them to us, some pictures?
We sure will.
Yes, that'd be cool. Now, are you going to be there, Danny?
I will be. This will be my third sea oat planting adventure since I've been with Duke Energy. We did a couple of volunteer projects in Franklin County last several years.
Okay.
So we are well experienced at Duke Energy in planting sea oats and love getting out there and getting in the sand and doing some good.
Well, cool. Panhandle Outdoors has a lot of folks down there in Franklin County to watch the show. What were y'all doing down there?
We planted sea oats at St. George Island.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes,
Okay.
and they held up very well after the storm, and we wanted to do something in Mexico Beach, and this was a perfect fit for their needs.
Yeah. I know the damage at Mexico Beach, and you live there.
Yes, I do.
Was severe. We all know about it. And of course, we all had damage, but y'all was like ground zero. And y'all are making such a special effort to get things back to normal.
Yeah, we are working very hard all over town,
Yeah.
and we're finally beginning to get some places where you can buy some food and things like that. These are important when you don't have them. So.
Yeah. And you mentioned something. Your house did pretty good compared to a lot of others.
It certainly did. We were very lucky. And, you know, people complain about building to code. But the truth of the matter is those codes are established for a reason.
Your house was built to code.
Our house was built to code.
Yeah.
And we tried to be even a little more than code because, you know, one of the things that a lot of people don't understand is the concept of permeable and impermeable surface. You know, if you've got flooding and you've got a storm surge and you don't have permeable surface for that water to go to, it's a problem. So we incorporated that into the building, and tried to really do it right. So
that's cool, and it had good results compared.
Absolutely, yes.
Where is your house located down there?
Well, there's a dedicated beach that runs about from 7th, 8th Street down to 386, which is the end of the county.
I know where
and
that
is where our house is located.
Okay.
And that tends to be the newer houses, not all new, but anyway, that makes a big difference because the older section of town that wasn't built to code, you know, there's some of those places were built in the 50s.
Yeah,
and we didn't know as much about
exactly.
how to do things. So.
And now we know.
And now we know.
Yeah.
We've learned a lot.
and the big thing about it, I tell you what, we're going to take a break because we got all kinds of things to talk about. So let's take a quick break. We'll come right back. All right, welcome back. Sitting here with Danny and Lorene, where we got some good things happening at Mexico Beach and all the natural things happening. And Danny, tell us what Duke Energy is going to be helping on.
So we're planting sea oats, but we're also doing some Florida-friendly native species planting at the Under the Palms Park in Mexico Beach.
Under the Palms Park. Let's pull that up, folks. Take a look here. There's Mexico Beach, and you see there's the canal and all, but we're going to put it in the center of the screen, Under the Palms Park. And so y'all go right in this area, right in here. There you go. Look at all that damage. Look at all those fallen trees and all that. It's like that all over in it. It's amazing.
It is.
So tell us about it, the native plants and all, what all y'all be putting down.
Well, we'll be putting down along the edges, we'll be putting the fringe tree, which is sometimes called graybeard, and wax myrtle, which are both really beautiful.
They are.
And longtime natives of Florida. So one of the things that we need to do, because we've lost so much vegetation, we need to go back and get some of those native plants so we get our pollinators back.
There you go.
And
now listen, let me interrupt you right now because we're talking to a master gardener, right? I mean, she's got these, she's certified.
Well,
so I'm serious. So keep talking.
Okay, well, Extension Service has been very helpful as we have developed this plan, and that's who does the Master Gardening Program. And we are very excited because people want to come back and build stronger. And one of the things, you know, it's the cabbage palm that survives a hurricane.
The cabbage palm.
That's right. So we're and this park has cabbage palms that have survived. They're all there.
Okay.
So we're going to come back in with some trees and some native shrubs and flowers. And there are a couple that are real standouts. The tropical sage is it's a form of salvia with a wonderful red blossom. And
beautiful.
It is beautiful. And the other one that's a real showstopper, it's called blanket flower. And it grows low on the ground, and it starts out yellow petals, and it goes to the center and turns orange and then red. Beautiful plant.
Very good.
One of the other things that we'll be doing in addition to the parks is as we go through the dune planting and we do the sea oats, we'll be coming back through those areas and trying to plant dune sunflowers and railroad vine, things that naturally grow.
Railroad vine, yeah, which is natural there. Hey, you brought up such a valid point. Now you got all these notes now.
Oh, I got them. I got them. He has to get them.
Y'all got a long list of Duke Energy.
Yes.
I see you taking your boss now. We got to do what? But all these natural plants. We use the word natural. Now, what are some? Let's go to trees now. What are some trees that we know? Of course, the pine tree didn't do well.
No.
We didn't do well. What are some bad trees and good trees to plant off the top of your head? Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what has survived well is what's called the sweet bay magnolia.
Okay.
It's not as big and showy as the southern magnolia.
Okay.
But it survived well, and we have a number of those coming back. The Yopon holly is another good tree. We've also, there have been a lot of giveaways from Extension Service, and we've been planting some cypress trees. Cypress trees normally would occur in the swamp, but they also will adapt to drier conditions.
That's interesting. A lot of people don't know that.
That's right. And these trees, those trees will also help take up that water. And of course, when we have storms and we've had a lot of rain, then we need trees that are going to soak up some of that water and get it back up into the atmosphere.
I got a quick question for Master Gardener. I look at a lot of these trees. I have some in my yard where some of the limbs are broken off and all, but they're still, the tree is still there. So it's still going to be, I know it's wounded, I guess, a wounded tree. But we just let them grow, and a lot of green's coming out on them. So.
Yes, as long as they're still growing and doing photosynthesis, we want them to grow.
There you go.
So
there
that's it.
I know you have a large area, from Mexico Beach way over.
Yes.
What are some other things that are challenging to you in your endeavors?
So this has been a pretty tremendous year for us between the fires in East Point and Franklin County, and then Hurricane Michael, coming right after.
Yeah.
We obviously had a large undertaking in Mexico Beach in particular. Port St. Joe was hit pretty hard, portions of Franklin County as well. So this is just a way for us to give back to a community that has gone through a lot. One of many things that we're doing in the area, we had a fish release yesterday, a partnership with CCA in Gulf County. We released 7,000 redfish. So we're continuing to work in this community as they recover, and also being involved in the environmental recovery locally as well.
And that's such a plus to have a corporation, have a company like this that cares about our environment. And we know, being a science teacher and an outdoor ed teacher, we know how important it is.
We do. And it's great to see that people are rallying around that and they're willing to come out and support it.
Okay, we're going to plant this Saturday. We got anything coming up later on in the summer, any kind of big stuff? I know you're going to do the park and all, but
we'll do the park.
Some other stuff in the fall, or any long-range plans that we can. Y'all just keep us posted when y'all find
more
out.
To come.
More to come. That's right.
You'll keep
That's
dangling
right.
that carrot in front of you. Now, on Saturday morning, tomorrow morning, you gonna have water or anything? We're gonna have any kind of water? People bring on water and all of this. We don't want people to get overheated.
Yes, we'll have all the water. We'll have some food for lunch for those that have done a good job and want to get a bite to eat afterwards. We'll have a comfort station that we know it's going to be hot, so if folks that are wanting to get in and out of the sun and have a cold drink, they can do that there. So.
That's cool.
But it is important for people to bring sunscreen.
And a big wide hat.
And a big wide hat.
We'll talk about
That's
that.
right.
Yeah.
And a small shovel. That'll help too.
Well, I'll be sure and take some pictures. And
we'll do that.
And where did you get your sea oaks from? You remember? It was the same.
Yes, the same company.
Same company. Because she had emailed me earlier.
Green Meadows.
Yeah. Where do y'all get all those sea oak plants and they're down that big old nursery down there?
Right.
So,
and they're being delivered today in Mexico Beach.
So it's the same DNA.
Yeah.
The sea oaks have the same DNA that we plant all over the place. And I checked them out over here in on Thomas Drive, that park. A lot of our sea oaks are doing so well, and we're proud of that. So this is something we as environmentalists, outdoorsmen, y'all help participate all you can. We want to thank Duke Energy for helping out too.
Thank you.
And thank y'all for getting up early and coming all the way over here. Before you leave, you got to draw for some seafood. We always like to do good things, and this is going to be our Tarpon Rock Seafood. They donate every Friday. Donate a $20 gift certificate to one lucky winner. and also a big red snapper. So they get mad at me. If I don't draw the name, people get mad at me, so I'm going to let them get mad at you this morning. If they don't draw your
that'll
name.
be fine.
So you draw
I
one
can take the
name.
heat.
This will be for the $20 gift certificate to Tarpon Dock. And who is that going to be?
Tyler Drew.
Tyler Drew from Lynn Haven. All right, Tyler, and the winner of the big red snapper, and snapper season opens tomorrow.
Ooh.
For on charters, not recreation. And from all the way from Sneeds, we have Sandra Goodson. Okay, so you don't have to go fishing tomorrow. You already got your red snapper. All right. Well, thank y'all so much for coming on. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to do our famous Friday fishing report. We're going to come back with it on Google Earth and tell you where you can go tomorrow. But thank y'all again for coming over.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. All right. We'll be right back, folks. Welcome back to the famous Friday fishing forecast and report. We're glad to give it to you. I was just talking to Lorene about what they're catching down at Mexico Beach, and she gave me a first-hand report. Her granddaughter caught some pompano last weekend surf fishing at Mexico Beach. So we talk about you can park there. Make sure you park in a safe place and not on the Gulf side, but get out there. And Mexico Beach, excellent place to go surf fishing, and they are catching them down there. That's a couple of good reports we've gotten. Let's go ahead and go on down to, while we're in the area, let's go and do St. Joe Bay, and we got to try to move around all the places we got to get to, but they're still catching pompano in the surf at Cape San Blas. The cut is almost filled in at Eagle Harbor, but the boat ramp is open at Eagle Harbor if you want to get a chance to launch your boat there and do some good redfish. And remember, they released 8,000 fingerling redfish from Mexico, from Port St. Joe. A lot of them going to stay in St. Joe Bay, and they're not big enough to catch yet, but that's just great news. St. Joe Bay has been really good fishing all week long and going into this weekend. Okay, let's move on up to White City. Okay, good launching there at White City. You saw the video Gail and I had. Going to be some great freshwater fishing. All the way, like I mentioned last week, all the way into Lake Wimico. Depot Creek's going to be strong. Lake Wimico, you can catch all kinds of stuff. It's going to be an excellent time. Get in the shade now, wear your hat and everything. All right, let's go just in general, just some of my notes in general from what the reports I've gotten this week from all the viewers. In relation to offshore fishing, it has been nothing but amazing, okay? Mahi has been, folks, well, you saw Travis, I'm going to have Travis Bassford on, but I talked to Travis, and he has seen a lot of mahi caught, okay? So coming, of course, tomorrow now is opening a red snapper season for the federal charter boats, not recreational. So I will be going out, my buddies and I, every year, the first Saturday of June, we're going to Seminole Wind with Captain Billy Archer. It's an annual thing for us, and we all look forward to it. And we're just going to have a ball. I'm going to go and tell you ahead of time. We're going, you know what? We're going to catch a lot of fish. And you know what? We're going to catch a lot of big fish, and it's going to be fun. And I'm going to show you. We're going to take a video of it like we do every year. We'll have a great show lined up. We'll be catching grouper and all kind of stuff. And anyway, but now the recreation season will be next Tuesday, Tuesday week it'll open then on June the 11th. So keep that in mind, the two dates on that. Okay. Also, I wrote down the king bite. The king bite has started there. I was out at Captain Anderson's and went by the docks and checked out Captain John Law, and he was catching some king mackerel. So Captain John Law is an excellent captain, good young, I won't say young anymore, but he's one of our former guys at Mosley. Also wrote down 2 days. I got concerned, and we'll have to talk about this later on. I was looking for Captain Bobo Hobbs. You know how special Bobo Hobbs is to Panhandle Outdoors, one of the oldest captains we have left. And he wasn't there. They're not doing, we don't have the Florida Queen anymore. We don't have the Ocean Queen anymore. We've lost the old Davis Queen fleet. We just don't have it anymore after the hurricane. And it's so heartbreaking. I was told yesterday, or I was told 2 days ago, that we're not going to have any more 2-day trips, and that's sort of heartbreaking to me. That's the end of an era in the Florida Panhandle on charter boat fishing when you don't have any more of those 2-day trips. So I was told by one of the deckhands there. So anyway, keep that in mind, and you're still going to catch a lot of fish and all, but these, you know how I like to go over overnight trip and all. Now, getting out in the water, the L-wise, let's go to North Bay. I got a report from a fisherman yesterday in North Bay. The L-wise, that's our little bait fish, of getting up in the North Bay. And what's happening, if they get in the North Bay, that means up in the East Bay, they're up in Choctawhatchee Bay, they're just creeping on up there, and they're following that warm water and venturing out further. So that's our big bait fish. When the alewives, everybody, all the fishing guides, that's what they're looking for. They're following those alewives. So they're now in our bay system. So go back to, that's North Bay there, okay? So okay, I got a report now. Let's jump to Choctawhatchee Bay. Larry Brown called me yesterday. You know, Larry fishes, he only fishes about every day. And he was putting in at his fish camp over there. He said he could smell, if you're a freshwater fisherman, you understand, you can smell the fish, you can smell the beds. He said as he was getting his boat off the dock, he could smell them. So he knew he was going to catch fish. You know, he called me as he was launching his boat and said, the fish are here. He said, I can smell them. This is over here in the Freeport area, okay, in the Choctawhatchee River system. All you viewers over there, the river's going to be in great shape, and it's going to be excellent down there. I talked, okay, let's see what else. I wrote down also, we can smell them, alewives, kings, the mahi. Okay, I've covered everything. The biggest bite all week, though, you know what it's been? It's been the yellow flies. The yellow flies are still eating people, and there's all kind of remedies and all, but just the best thing, just wear long pants and long sleeves and all, and slap them when you can. But anyway, keep that in mind. We've got about another minute left. I do want to mention the St. George Island, way down to St. George Island, getting down on our eastern end of our viewing area. St. George Island, I'm getting ready to go fishing there week after next on our annual trip there. Speckled trout bite has been really good in that area. On the backside of St. George Island, backside of Dog Island, sea quarters reporting some good catches. They've had some good offshore catches with grouper. The mahi bite has been good down there also. That's the same fish coming up through there. So all along this whole area. And like I say, St. George Island, back behind St. Vincent, the triple tail bite has been really strong. I'm planning a triple tail trip probably next week or week after. I'll tell you what I need to do. I need to take the whole month of June off and let somebody else do the show, and I just need to fish the whole month of June. I'm serious. I may do that next year. Okay, got to wrap things up. It's been a great week. We've had some special guests here this week, and it's been a lot of fun. Next week's going to be great also because it's excellent time to fish. So we're going to wrap it up. We appreciate you watching Panhandle Outdoors. We appreciate the viewership. As always, we ask you to do something good for your fellow man. Don't forget to go down to Mexico Beach tomorrow and help on them. Do something good for your fellow man. Have a great weekend, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.